Alright, we do have a landfall. Looks like got shredded a little bit by the getting shredded pretty badly by the hills in the area. And there is an error in the satellite data, which is causing issues, because that's right where the hurricane is, or the typhoon. Was it shortwave? Yes, let's see if it. Yeah, it's clearly nowhere near Melissa's level. You can see the eye also being shredded in the shortwave as well. Looks like it should go pretty far north of Manila. Ba-ba-bum. You can see the hills with all the protections and stuff. Is that the hills causing the issues, or is that the satellite being weird? I think there should be hills in that area. Let's see. There should be some massive hills in that area. Just do this thing. Check Google Maps. Ooh, yeah, that area. Yeah, pretty rocked. Alrighty, there's a bunch of mountains. Those aren't very tall though. That would be Casagurn, and apparently Zone 2. Okay, I'm not even gonna attempt to say that. Came in right around here. Let's see what these look like. Oh, those are up on a hill, so they should be fine. Yeah, that's probably one of the better spots for it to come in at. I think this is mostly flat. Yeah, this is mostly flat beachy areas, and these should have offshore flow once the eye passes. Yeah, it's right in here. So, I forgot to change it to weather forecasting. Yay. That's always fun. Alright, that and that. Any other information besides the map? I can do this. Should give me these coordinates. I'll be able to just dump them in. Yeah, that's about right where the landfall was. Problem is it's a giant eye, so this entire area is in it. All the way down to a baller. It's gonna miss Manila by quite a bit. There still should get some pretty nice hurricane winds. Yeah, Manila. Yeah, I'm not gonna attempt to say that one. Singito should get a pretty nasty nasty run with that one. I think they're on hills though, so they should be relatively fine. You think this would show up on the satellite? Oh yeah, everything up here is just. These probably are in danger. Yeah, these are probably in danger. I think there's a little bit of a hill there. I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's a It's definitely just a hill here. We're up on some hills. This area in here might be a little bit of a issue, but those run into some cliff sides and some hilly, rocky areas. That could be an issue. Yeah, that's gonna be an issue. And all this is this should be fine since there's a bunch of trees on it, so not a lot of damage there. Besides the wind ripping them to shreds. And let's check inland. Some rivers. Mostly rural up until Salona, and I'm not even gonna attempt to say that name. Ariato. And then Begudo. Begu. I'm not even gonna attempt to say that one. There's Santa Cruz. It's gonna come up like this and exit out right near the San Juan, Santa Cruz, Luna area. Problem is, it's a giant eye. I think it's contracted quite a bit on the, ever since it started impacting land, it contracted quite a bit. Let's check long wave. Yeah, nice symmetrical. Nice. And then, and the only good thing about it being nighttime is people will be less likely to go outside and witness the storm. That's the only positive with it. Is it did it during the nighttime. So hopefully people aren't running out to see what's going on. Apparently there's winds all the way out here near Taiwan associated with the storm. Well, I mean, look at that outflow. Oof. Just pure gorgeousness. Unfortunately, it's going into a place that's already dealt with a pretty massive hurricane just a few weeks ago. Yeah, she's on shore. She's getting torn apart right now. That eye doesn't know what to do. That's the high res. Let's do the 6.9. Yeah, there's a pretty moist in there, which likely kept it from being a lot worse than what it should have been. Interesting. Interesting. See if there's any webcams in that area. Check. Probably not gonna get too much since it's nighttime. I think this is... Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get much out of that. I think all this is, let's see terms of service. So I would need a license to do that one. To business operations. Communication. Undertakes warranty. Yeah, it's a Okay, third-party sites. I need licensing deals for that one, so that one's not gonna work. Let's see. It's up in here. It's getting shredded by the hilly area. Right in here. Santiago. This could be in trouble. This area. The river. Depends on which way that's flowing. I think it flows south. It might flow north. I think it flows a little bit north. So that could be a problem for these areas near Santiago City. Due to the rain coming in. Aurora. Multi-purpose. That's probably fine. Again, another major hurricane into a relatively unpopulated zone. The world's been lucky these last few weeks. Except for, was it Lausanne? I think it was down here. I think it was right here. With the flooding. On Leyte. Yeah. Yeah, it's right in there. Oh, it's also in here. Where was that city I was looking for? I don't remember the city. I think it's Tula? No. I'm not even gonna mess with that one. Alright, these hilly areas should shred it up quite a bit. My guess is it won't be a low end category 1 when it gets to San Fernando City. And San Juan. Once it gets its act together. Camden City, St. Lucia. If you're between there and Santiago, that's about where it's gonna go. Alrighty then. This is where the landfall took place. I'm just waiting for more information to come in. And the eye filled in very, very quickly. Yeah, it's getting shredded. You can see where, yeah, right there where it got impacted. Still has a nice round circular CDO, so not as good as it used to be, but that's still probably Cat 3. Even after that look right there, if not higher. 943, 115. Let's see, what's... We have 949. That's about right. And it goes right into Taiwan once it comes out. That's the GFS. And it has it taking a do-right turn north before coming back on to itself. Cool. Good job. Alright. Let's see. Most of this area seems elevated. This is probably the most likely area to be mostly heavily damaged at. That's up on the rocks. That's up quite a bit. This is the only area I'm truly worried about for massive destruction. Or for like the city being wiped out, and even then, it looks like it's up in elevation a little bit. Yeah, that's a. I mean, you have these, but that's all protected by this island right here. Since the winds will be coming in like this, it's a nice big shield for that area. This area doesn't get the full shielding, and then these areas are too high up for storm surge. And these areas are elevated as well, right along the beach. And most of this is going to be coming offshore. Well, it looks like it's going to go into a very hilly area for a good chunk of its life. Did pull north, I think it's near Medela or this hilly area. Yeah, it's right in there. Yeah, it's all been shredded by these hills. That's something similar with Melissa on Jamaica. And those are nothing compared to that would be like this area right in here. But clearly not anywhere near that. Oh yeah, these are fairly high up. So it should reduce a lot of the wind damage potential. The flooding, on the other hand, will likely still be massive. Potentially even rivaling the stuff down here near. Yeah, there you go. Lapu Lapu and that's the city. Cebu City. That's the one I was looking at. Oh yeah. These little rivers here likely overflowed pretty heavily. Boy. This area is hilly, hilly, hilly. Wonder what the peaks are on it. That's nothing. So that's about 8,000 feet. Great. I'm gonna have to do that calculation really quick. About 4,000 feet. Interesting. I thought it was going to be higher than that. Let's check what the mountain one is. It's about 3,000 meters. So about 10,000. Interesting. Well, that's an oddity. Flat, flat, flat. Big mountain. Alright. They This area should also be good. This is the only other area that I can think of. Most of this is protected by the geography. Even down here, it's protected by the geography. These should still see some issues with storm surge, but you're gonna have an offshore wind for a good chunk of it. There might be some areas that see some issues. But most of this should be fine. There's a couple houses that probably don't exist. Yeah, that one might not exist. And there's a resort. That's unless the height's wrong. All right. Anything good? No. It's just getting absolutely shredded right now. Let's check modeling to see what it actually is looking like and wants to do. And that sucks. So I guess I'll just look at the huge Lake Vic snow event for Chicago region. Oof. Yeah, and this is why you have to be careful, because no idea what's happening there. Thunder snow, potential. Alright. These areas should be fine. They will likely have defloration happening to it. Okay, never saying that again. Not entirely sure how to say some of these names. Gosh. Mad. I would laugh at these names, but where I live, there are some that are way worse than that. Agbe, Burgos, a lot of these small villages will have to deal with the flooding issues that should arise here. That's a big old lake. That's probably gonna flood quite a bit. Yeah, that's probably gonna flood quite a bit there. Well, that could be interesting. That's gonna be interesting as well. Alrighty. That's protected except for this area. And that's even protected as well due to the geography with these, with this point. It's just gonna take it up into here. So this would be the only area where I'd be concerned with some damages. Gotta go take care of that. Let's see. Probably should have left it on this. Oh, that's beating out really nicely. See, current storms. This is the only current storm in the world. And pressure went up and max winds went down. That was of 12 UTC, so about 30 minutes ago. Which makes sense since it's making landfall. Yeah, she made landfall. Not a lot else I can do since it looked like it's being shredded right now. Shredded to pieces. Yeah, she's been absolutely demolished. She is holding her structure quite well. On the side that's still off of the shoreline. Maybe the second side will be really rough. And there's no recon. Let's check the modeling. Modeling has it right around 957. Category 1, and then it's off to Alaska. Poof, look at that. Hands it off, and off to Alaska we go before a Fujiwara effect happens. Oof. I think there was another one that came in on the modeling. Yeah, another one comes in basically, yeah, in about, that's way too far out. That's like 200 hours out. That's close to the end of the month. So I wouldn't put any value in that. Oof. Alright. So what the JMA has. The JMA has it, hasn't updated in a while. Yeah, that one has it right into there. Alright,